Bob Arum, Bob Arum, Bob Arum. Bob Arum has a lot of work to do. His promises are unique. They are public. He is vocal, and he hasn't stopped now. Bob Arum states that if Crawford beats Khan, he said, "I promise you, I will call Al Haymon to make a Spence Crawford fight." Now, what do I say about that? I think that Bob, again, he's 87 years of age. Bob wants to see his fighters because he has some of the best fighters in the world. Terence Crawford is probably the number one. More than likely, to me, he's number one. He's Loma's number one. I think Loma's number two until Loma needs a defining fight for me. Okay, but they both, regardless of who's number one and number two, they're both with Bob Arum. Okay, Bob Arum's had some brilliant fighters. I mean, everyone from Ali to Mayweather to Floyd to Oscar De La Hoya, you know, he's had a lot of talent, a lot of special talent, okay? And he could only further his reputation as being one of those promoters is getting his fight, you know, one of the number one fighters in the world, Terence Crawford, an opportunity to fight Errol Spence, which is the regarded welterweight, top welterweight at the 147-pound division, okay? And the way he can do that is, first of all, me counterpunching Bob Arum. I feel that he needs to stop talking shit about Al Haymon. He needs to start saying positive things about Al Haymon, not being the cancer of boxing, not, you know, holding his top fighters back, even if it's true or not. You can't, at the end of the day, you can't keep saying those type of things about other promoters or advisors or managers or whatever position they hold and expect them to get along with you business-wise, because a lot of these guys, they have an ego. They have they take things to heart. Look at Deontay Wilder, Shelley Finkel, and the Eddie Hearn situation. They don't want to deal with each other simply because they don't like each other. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? But who gives a shit is the person that took it to heart. So, you know, a lot of people have their own egos, like I stated, and these guys need to get it together. Al Haymon needs to pretend like he exists, call Al Haymon like he said he's going to do, and make that fight happen. You know, see if they can come to a certain agreement. If they can't, that fight won't happen because it's not up to Spence. You know, Crawford been wanting to fight Errol Spence because he knows he's the guy that nobody else wants to fight him, okay? And either they got to force him to fight, but Al Haymon won't force him to fight as long as he's making his fighters money. You know, if you have the top fighters, you know, from Al Haymon's standpoint, he doesn't have to put all of them together and fight each other. He can have them fighting the lower range guys and get them all rich. And every so often, he might throw a bone here and there on a decent fight that you're kind of curious about who would win and who won't win. But most of the time, you know the outcome of those fights. It's a foregone conclusion. So it's going to be hard for Bob Arum to get in there, but he has to respect the other advisors, the other promotional companies, and make that fight happen. But what he's saying, I think he really wants to help his fighters, and I hope he's just not talking and you know, instead of talking to us, he needs to be talking to Al Haymon, you know, to get Al Haymon, to get Errol Spence, to make these guys a legitimate offer so they can come together and make this super fight. Because, you know, you guys remember, you know, I follow boxing. I followed boxing a long time. But you can remember that Terence Crawford was contemplating retirement. He wouldn't be around soon. So Terence Crawford, you know, he didn't start at 147. He didn't start at 140, okay? And he was at another weight. He was at 135 before that. This guy was clearing weight classes out, guys. So he doesn't have time to really wait around. And if he can't get those big fights, what is he doing there? You know what I mean? That's where, you know, the politics pretty much ended his legacy opportunities for advancement, you know what I'm saying, due to all the BS there. So, you know, but Al Haymon, he looks like he's serious about it because he's talked about it a while. I would want me counterpunching Bob Arum, to be more vocal, like, you know, when Errol Spence was there with Terence Crawford confronting Errol Spence like, hey, I want you, I want to fight you, I want that smoke. You know, I think Bob Arum should have been like, okay, you tell Al Haymon to call me. He should have done that. But now he states that he's going to do that if he gets past Khan. And I don't know if Khan is necessarily a fighter where I guess he has to prove himself to, you know, in front of a faster fighter that's more talented or skilled than Jeff Horn and Jose Benavidez. You know, is Khan a step up? Because a lot of people think it is. You know, it's going to be a good fight. I don't take anything away from Amir Khan because Amir Khan has a name at the end of the day. So, but I think that fight will, if he runs through Amir Khan, which is another person that Errol Spence hasn't fought, you know. So I think Bob Arum should give Terence Crawford the opportunities that you gave Oscar De La Hoya and a lot of other people. Okay, don't piss off your top fighters and have them going somewhere else because that's the pattern. Okay, think about it with De La Hoya, with Floyd Mayweather, with even Manny Pacquiao. All these guys are Hall of Famers. And he's had all these guys in his stable, and they all did the same shit eventually. You know, don't let that become Terence Crawford when he figures out, well, dude, I can only do so much with you. You know, I love you. You're old. You gave me good money. You gave me opportunity. But, dude, I can't do this no more with you. You don't want to get Terence Crawford that mindset. He's an humble guy. He's a loyal guy. But you don't want to break that loyalty or that humbleness. So I think Bob Arum should do it. That's my counterpunch on that, guys. You guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum's statements. I'll leave the link below because it is a video attached to that explaining he will go to Al Haymon. So, of course, please subscribe, guys. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.